Hi guys, it's Sky. So today I want to talk about something a little more personal, and I wanted to get into um, the the thought system and the process of being a light worker, and it's what it's really like to be on the planet, knowing that you have this sensory system that is different than other people, that you can see things that other people don't see, that you're often called crazy. I just want to talk about the whole realm of what it's like to be a light worker on the planet and how it affects us, and it affects your everyday life and your thinking process. And then I want to talk about the struggles that we go through and some of the things that we can do to deal with it. But I also just want to talk about it because I really wanted to share what we go through. And if you are feeling these things, that you're just not alone, that these things are really common, that sometimes you don't even know what is happening to you. And it's very important that we kind of all stick together and that we share actually the unfolding of the process of what a light worker goes through. And the one thing that I noticed in my awakening, I had my awakening back in 2011. This is when a lot of people had their awakening at this time. And I noticed that there were some people that were starting to come out, and they were talking about this, and it made me, it comforted me so much. I just felt like I wasn't alone. And when I noticed in 2011, when I got the download that I was different from my fellow man. Really, it was kind of it was it was something even I had to get used to, honestly. I had a download where I realized that I was literally taken from another timeline and brought over to here. And then I had a download that I was left from, so I was taken from another timeline, but there's these beautiful angel guardians. Some call them extraterrestrials, some call them just keepers of the planet, whatever you want to call. And then there's a division of them, and I just always called them our alien nurses, our 8 extraterrestrial nurses. Extraterrestrial means extra human, and the nurse means help. And so I would just always, that's how I understood it as a child. And when I had contact with them, these beings that would take me when I was a child, I would, back then I thought this was all normal. Like, I didn't realize that if I were to talk about this, that somebody would think I needed medication, or that this was very strange, or that she's listening to other people too much, or it's like, the list goes on and on. But I didn't realize that it was abnormal not to have these downloads when I was a child. Like, I thought it was normal to go with the alien nurses and be taken. I loved it. I loved everything they did to us. I understood that I was on a structural mission. I understood the whole process. I didn't like coming back here. When they brought us with the children, it was such a love. There was so much love. The love vibration is so different. So being here was not pleasant for me. And then when I got brought here, but see, when you're a child, like, you're at a different vibration. You're just thinking, you're not thinking of there's this harsh world out there, and people's minds, you don't understand that people really are in a matrix. You don't understand that until you're older and you've gotten taken out of the matrix. You don't understand the amount of brainwashing that people are really going through. And when you understand that, you just become so hurt. And then it's almost like you go through this process of grieving for your land and your people and your place and what happened to humanity. And it just feels so so hurtful to recognize that other people don't see what I see. Other people can't see and hear and communicate with beings like I do. Other people can't see that they're in the matrix. Other people don't see the infiltration of a satanic system into our system, into our systems that we live in. Other people don't see that. That makes me crazy. That renders me so lonely. And then when I when I talk about it to other people, they want to turn it around and say, it gets turned around in a way that will validate an old paradigm. And I'm tending to believe that us light workers were born at a certain time, at a certain place or space. There's really no time. And we were brought here to unfold this beautiful awakening of Gaia, who is an extension of us, or we have some relationship to her because we've been part of her. And Gaia, the planet, is consciousness. She's part of our consciousness, and we communicate with her. And some of us have an ability to do that. I am baffled that people don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you cannot communicate with your planet. I don't get that people don't do that. I don't understand how people can eat animals that are dead and take on that vibration. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Now, I don't understand how people can watch the news and take in these signals into their body and mind and not understand that they are being triggered either into an advertisement or some sexual thing or something that tells us that we're separate as human beings, or I don't understand that we don't have this spiritual awareness of ourselves. And it hurts me, and sometimes I don't deal with that very well. Sometimes my reaction is anger toward people. I'm really angry at society sometimes, especially Western medicine. I despise that this Obamacare came out because, and I know that's a contradictory because what I used to think is I'm so happy, I can't wait for everybody to have health care. But being a light worker and traveling the cosmos and learning everything I've learned, I just don't trust Western medicine. I do not trust that what we are being presented to as medicine is medicine, or presented as medicine. It's not medicine to me. One of the first things that the light beings told me when I had my experience was to learn Eastern medicine, and I was going to know true medicine, and there was going to be a big infiltration into Western medicine. Now, when I sign up for that care, I know that I'm going to be infiltrated and most likely chipped through some kind of something that they have. Now, that doesn't mean that there's good things in there. That's the thing that I struggle with. There's also good things within Western medicine, but anything under that system is going to be infiltrated, and that's really hard for me to deal with, and it's really hard for me to get that across to other people, that it is infiltrated. This planet has a very serious problem, and when I speak about it, it's very hard for me, and well, it's not hard for me to talk about because I see it. It's hard sometimes because we have to deal, light workers are constantly, all day long, getting told, no, that's not real, no, that's not, and then they're getting a flashback as to why this isn't real, why this isn't going to happen, and the news is saying this, and your friends are saying this, because they don't want you to be abnormal. They want you to be going along with society, but what's happening is they're getting triggered too. They're starting to questioning things too, and things aren't lining up for them, and in secret they wish that they were like you, and they wish that they could talk like you, and they wish that, or to be honest about life and how they're living like you are, because light workers will make a stance. We do not tolerate the stuff. We just can't. You can't. You can't go out there and be part of it and know what you know. You just can't do it. So it renders you very lonely. I have a really hard time with authority. I don't want anything under that Draco system because that system that we're under is a Draco system. Our judicial system is a Draco system. I say your honor to a Draco Dark Lord. I've explained this into my stuff. That's into my other videos. That's very offensive for a light worker, and they make us do that. Also, if you're a light worker, you probably know that you have been purposely, intentionally put into a very, very difficult family. You come from maybe a town of poverty, or you come from a family of abuse, or you've had major struggles in your life, and you've been purposely put into a harmful situation as a light worker. They don't want our light on this planet. And when our light represents, a light worker is human, the human God, a self represents the opposite of the transhumanism God that they're working for, to keep the Dracos and the reptilians. And there's the fashions thereof are working to keep transhumanism on the planet. It's a Luciferian act, and they're mimicking humans. And being a light worker under Mother, Father, God in heaven, I cringe when I see this. Because we don't need to do this. We don't need to mimic God. We have everything we need. My God, if we knew of our glory, we don't need to make human extra parts outside of us. Our DNA structure, through sound and through prayer and through the vibration of our higher source within us and others, is together, we can literally transform our body and our cells. Everything that's out there is a mimic of the Christ within. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the technology. Now let me tell you, this surveillance on people and this MK Ultra mind control, that's just mimicking who we are as God's selves, because as our natural selves before this, we operated on telepathy. We understood our oneness. We were one God consciousness. My first experience of leaving my body, I was amazed, because I was just consciousness. I sat there and I looked down at my body. Well, first I didn't realize they had all the hair on the back of my head, for one thing. And then I was like, I'm completely alive. I looked at my furniture, I looked at my body, I looked at everything, and there was just me. I was completely, we're not your body. And it was just the most the most interesting experience. But then see, when you travel the cosmos and you get outside and you realize you're in a matrix, and you realize that how full people are, it's really hard. You can't help but become you want to shut down. You want to stop. You want to scream. You guys, what are you doing? What are we doing? Stop this. What are we doing as human beings? Why are we letting our brother and sister over there get murdered when we're literally all connected? I mean, we're literally all connected. I believe, from my spiritual experience, when I met the light beings, it was the most profound thing ever. And if you're a light worker, you understand this. Your life literally wants to stop until everybody understands that we are one, and that we have to get on. We can't now anyway. It's not just some holy thing, let me go save the world. It's no, our DNA structure is changing, and you can't not notice. And we were incarnated, we're born, and we were put into motion for a certain reason, because there's a certain thing going on. There's certain light workers that are holding guard for escorting out a very dark force. And we've done this before, and we've all communicated on this line that is happening. And what happens is you get attacked. You get your psychic attacks being a light worker. Your computers get attacked. Your body gets attacked. Your friends attack you. Even the closest person that you think loves you, somewhere inside of them, they may think that you are, if they don't understand, if they're not on that mission, they might feel sorry for you. Maybe they think that you're I don't know what they think. But it's a feeling of separation. It's a feeling that puts you out here, and it puts you separate, and all you want to do and all you see is our oneness. So when I get in situations like that, when I'm hurt that the people are still not outside of the matrix, when they haven't opened up yet, when they don't understand why our children don't want to go to school, they don't want to hear, they're too smart, they're too evolved, this doesn't work for them. Why do you think going to a jail cell does anything for anybody? Does that lift up your spirit and correct the original problem? No, and that's a Draco system. Going for the medicine that doesn't work for you, that's a Draco system. Some of that stuff, that those vaccines are chipped just so that they'll have access to us. The other thing, the infiltration is they did tell me one digital thing that they were infiltrating that I thought was so fascinating. The light beings were talking about. They were talking about how they were going to infiltrate, they were digitally going to be able to keep track of us, our coding, through a digital source. So, and they already do, actually. They actually, the amount of technology that the darker alien races has is huge. But I will stand by my Mother, Father, God in heaven, like the angels and the light beings teach us, many of us, that the God source is stronger, higher than the artificial intelligence, that your vibration anytime, anywhere can pull you out of that darkness, that when you stand with your spirit in the light, that we're not subject to that. I was also told as a light worker, like I know many people are right now, if this planet is in danger, there are many of us, if we go to that, now we're on different timelines. We know we're on different timelines. I was taken from another timeline to this timeline. If we do go with that, and if the human beings are in danger, if your vibration is high enough, you will be able to be taken off planet. You will be literally coded where and when to go. Now that's an extreme case. Could that happen? Yes, it could. But as light workers, or as anybody is going through, the most important thing is that you're in prayer. That your body and your mind is open enough so you hear your own signals. When there's no internet and when there's no access to anybody else, we have to be in quiet meditation to hear our own signals from source, because that's the only thing you might have one day. And really at the end of it all, that is really all we do have. So I wanted to just do a little bit on the struggles of a light worker, because the really interesting thing is that we're doing this for a reason. We're not just showing up and working our asses off and getting thrown into these horrific families and fighting our thing and coming up and showing up as one and still not preaching, but still, admitting and seeing and saying, hey, everybody, there's light. There is light. There is a God. There is oneness. We didn't live like this. If we can still do that and remain and go home lighthearted and forgive the tragedies that are happening, we still have to remain lighthearted. If we can do that, we win. And then if we can still get our humanity as one, reaching lighter states, we have more of an opportunity to move us through. The thing that is going to change here is the actual trees, the DNA. This is where we have to hold on. When your mind feels crazy and you feel like, my God, where is the return? Or where was it? This has been going on, talking forever. There's actual structural change already that is happening. There is an Illuminati script that they're following. We're a few paragraphs in now. We're going to keep going in over the next several years. Us light workers are going to be coded. We already are. We just have to be in a meditation to have our memory restored to us. And even if you are, you can do these videos and say exactly what I'm doing. Many of you already are, and I'm out there learning from you as well. I just love that there's so many people. I couldn't believe it when I got ignited that there were other people out here doing this just like I was. it really touched my heart, because I saw and I see every day Gaia. I see our Mother Earth, that we stand on this Christ energy, and that she shows me that there are other people that are literally, and beings and extraterrestrials that are walking us through something glorious, and that we are washing away extreme darkness. This can only go on for so long. And I just want to keep the light in the light workers, because you're challenged. And we can't forget our home. And when you're down, and when a light worker's down, you know that there's another one up here bringing you up. When you're down, we're raising you up. And then when we're down, you're raising us. You know, it works. We all work like this in the ethereal and on the God level, on the oneness level, where we literally are working together, uniting each other, uniting humanity. So you're not alone out there in your struggle, if you are struggling. And then, you know, a lot of us light workers are also trained. We'll dip into the matrix and we'll get into stuff, and we realize this is not something that you want to participate in, and you pull yourself back out, and you remain in your spiritual source, and you do the best you can to remain in your spiritual source. You forgive who you have to forgive. You make amends to where you have to make amends, and you get back in your spiritual space, and you carry on. So that training is also very important. You know, that's something that we have to continue to do. And then we also, under our Mother, Father, God in heaven, we owe it to Christ, if you want to say Christ, Buddha, however you want to say it, to have a good life. I mean, we are made in the image of something grand. It's beautiful. I mean, the God self is beautiful. So it's our job to ignite that and keep that going as a light worker on this planet, while you're continuing to share your mission. And right now, if you're a light worker, it's important. You already know, and most likely you already are, everywhere you're going, you're sharing this message. Our planet's invaded, and this is what we're doing about it. This is what most light workers are doing right now. So we know that's a very difficult thing to share with people, and to move out there, and to maneuver through. But it is something that we're doing. And like I said, some of us work with our timeline, so it's something we've already done. So we come back here and we tell you how we overcame this invasion. So, and then we unite. We do what I'm doing. We unite. I listen to so many wonderful people. I've had the most amazing opportunities lately, especially lately, when I've opened up my mind and my heart to work for the planet. The planet literally opens up, and things come into our lives in the most miraculous way. And then you know you're unified, and then you know that you're not alone. So I just wanted to share my thoughts about being a light worker, and the loneliness that you do experience, that you do have to face, and that we are not alone in that. So that's it. All right, thanks, you guys.